Vitamina Electronic Webcast.
Hello everybody, this is Gonzalo, your host, who thanks you for coming by, for stopping by to this little corner of the internet that we call Vitamina UK. This week we have news, we have parties, videos, and so much more. But then also a very special interview with someone who is living at Bosnia and Herzegovina. So maybe you guessed the name, maybe you not. Just wait and listen. This is a very good interview. But let's start with our news, shall we? Our first piece of news will take us away from the United Kingdom and will take us then to the lovely island of Saint Martin. There is a festival program already for 2016, is the Essex Music Festival. Now the lineup is impressive. Let's see, we have Adriatic, Apollonia, Audiofly, Bedouin, Bearhouse, Blondish, Danny Days, DJ Tennis, Dubfire, Francesca Lombardo, Guy Gerber, Hosh, Jamie Jones, Kenny Glasgow, Lauren Lane. Are you impressed? The list continues. Lee Burridge, Maceo Plex, Mahler Daniel, Mandy, My Favorite Robo, Nitin, Odd Parents, Aren't You? Paolo Rocco, Patrick Topping, Psychomagic, Ryan Crossan, Shal Ozin, Sean Reeves, and Thug Fucker. So this is the whole list that has been announced for the St. Martin's Music Festival, that is SX Music, on 2016. So if you would like then to be there, well, book some hotels, book the plane tickets, don't delay. We have news from Rekordbox. Pioneer DJ has published that there is a new choice to Rekordbox, that is then Rekordbox DJ. It's a monthly subscription, so you can now have access to the pack on a monthly subscription. This is a great choice, I think. If you want to extend the period of 30 days that you have as a trial before buying the software as a whole, or if you want to use the software just for a short time. So you can try it then and let us know how it went. DJ Snake team up with Billboard.com website, and he released for 24 hours only as a free download the new track Propaganda, coming from his new album. So if you were then just stopping by this website and saw the news, you then should have been able then to download this track for free only for 24 hours. That happened on December the 23rd. So thank you, DJ Snake, and let's see if we have more of these promotions during the year. the time has come. The time has come for the interview in the program, so we welcome from Bosnia and Herzegovina, Mr. Adnan Jakubovic. Enjoy. Okay, people from Vitamina UK, for the first time we have an interview now with then Adnan Jakubovic from Tuzla in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So I expect that I have said everything well. Did I?
Yeah, so far so good.
Okay, yes. Don't think that I came it right at the first time. We have been practicing off the microphone with Adnan today. Adnan, how are you?
Very nice. Thank you for asking. Thank you for inviting me at your show. Great pleasure. And I had a great day so far, so that's why my mood is on a high level so far.
Yes, everyone is really feeling well on a Saturday. So it's quite of a coincidence. So we tend to do these interviews on Saturday, so everybody's relaxed and in a good mood. So Adnan, we got to know you because of your promotional material, and we're here then for us to listen to your story of music, life, and everything else in between. So tell us, how did you get to know electronic music?
Well, my first experience was 2001, I guess. It was when I discovered Prodigy. I don't know how old I was there, maybe 14, 13 years old. I bought a CD, Prodigy, Music for the Jilted Generation. That was my first experience with electronic music. Later I was listening Propeller Heads, Moby, and stuffs that come after Crystal Bing and everything. At first time I was in a trance. I was listening to trance because back in that days trance was very popular. So I was starting my travel with electronic music in the world of trance music with Paul van Dyk and everything.
So it was a very good school indeed.
Yeah, but I learned by myself everything. Yes, I was going to the parties, but my first experience at party was 2004. I was on a Chris Living party, yes, here in Tuzla. Before that, I was only listening the CDs and cassettes because there was time of the cassettes and Walkmans, later CD players and everything.
Okay, and then after listening then to trance and other styles, then when did you start to produce music, or then did you make the decision to become a DJ? What came first, your DJ side or your producer side?
Well, I was spending a lot of time with my friend here in Tuzla. He was making Goa trance and Psytrance, and I learned from him. And at that time, I was watching how he used FL Studio. But first, I was here in my town. We were making small events. We call it Kalesia Trance Sunset. It was one night. We bring a few of our friends, and that was my first experience with DJing. It was maybe 30 minutes of mixing. That time, trance tracks, very euphoric from Tiesto, from Paul van Dyk and everything. That was maybe 2006, I guess, was my first DJ experience.
And from then you never stopped, right?
Yeah, actually I had a small break between that because I started producing in 2010. I had maybe for 2 years between from 2008 to 2010, I guess.
Okay, and then what made you then start then in production? Then did you feel the need then to express your own feelings, or there was some kind of sound that you wanted then to incorporate in your own sessions as a DJ?
Well, actually I was enjoying the sets of the Armin van Buuren and Markus Schulz, and they started their set with very progressive melodic stuffs. I really like and enjoy that kind of sound. And then I start exploring YouTube. I found some good YouTube channels and discovered some great labels, underground labels of progressive house. And then I gave a try. Well, I turned out by myself a software, FL Studio, and start making some random sounds. That was very. I was growing very fast in that time. My second track I ever made, I released it because my friends from Croatia, they heard that song and they want to release it on the label. So everything came very quick. Between time I was start using my first experience as producer and my first release. Maybe it's between 6 months.
So that's really interesting. Then tell us what the scene like. I mean, the electronic music scene in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Well, here is not very popular because Bosnia don't have a lot of also citizens and small country. It's very expensive for some promoters to make big events, to bring big names, fresh names from the scene. But here also in the past year or two, things are getting better because last night, for example, we had Sam Paganini in Sarajevo and Jay Lumen in Travnik.
Fantastic.
At the same night. Yeah, and few weekends ago, there was Dixon also, and some cool names. It was for me, was strange to have leaders of the moment of the scene, world leaders, to come to Bosnia because making events here is expensive and everything costs too much. And here, techno was always the strong part of the scene. And recently was tech house, but techno was everything and still is.
So do you think that happens because, for example, people then discover new sounds through DJs, so there are these kind of overtaking waves in music in every country?
Well, I agree. I think it's a good chance to always bring different kind of DJs for the events. So people can explore different kind of electronic music and see what is popular at the moment in the world scene and everything. So it's a good way to discover music or by making different kind of events.
Okay. Now tell us. Then you have mixed and produced records for quite a long time now. Have you been on tour then away from your hometown?
No, I don't play that much. I'm still focused at the most of making my own production. Well, I didn't have any big events so far. Reason for that is progressive house here in Bosnia is on a very low stats because, as I said, everything is about techno and people enjoy listening to techno. So when I say I make progressive house, the first people think about, it's that Martin Garrix or Tiesto or everything. No, then I have to explain it's not that kind of progressive house, it's an underground progressive house. And yes, that style of progressive house is still alive because they think it's died or something as extinct.
Right.
But it's not.
And
that's why. Yeah. Okay.
That was an interesting point. Why do you think then all of a sudden people then tend to think that names like Tiesto or Martin Garrix are progressive house are not the names that they used to be? There seems to be that something like the label was stolen. What do you think about that?
Well, because I think main reason was because Beatport started selecting everything in the so-called progressive house, and you got the electro and the big room and commercial stuffs, EDM and everything. So people just don't go to the progressive house genre and don't explore about everything. When they heard about some producer and DJs progressive house, first conclusion is, well, he must be commercial DJ. And that's why, because people need to explore more music. Try to listen Hernan Cantanel sets or Guy J on everything. Then it's a good way to find out about new way of progressive house and everything.
Okay. Now tell us about your podcast, Big Bells. How did it start?
Well, it's I don't know, 26 episodes, 27, I don't know. 2 years ago, I was still making music, and then my friend from India, Greg Thomas, he was managing Tenzi Radio at India at that time. He invited me to make a podcast. Before that, I was only making guest mixes and everything. Invited me to make once a month on my podcast. Why Big Bells? Big Bells, I always wanted to have on my label, that I will call him Big Bells Records, and my podcast will be Big Bells. I love bells. I love, back in time I was listening Dead Mao. He used a lot of cowbells, but also as ethnic bells from religion parts and everything. Bells are very special kind of sound for me, and because want to make a big room, big everything should be sound very mixed, from deep, from progressive, from tech, from techno and everything. That's
okay.
why.
Wonderful. So you have found then a distinctive sound, and it's something that probably we'll see in the future. Have you then thought of then starting your own label?
Well, I have planned, but so far I don't know what will happen, because at this moment I want focus more on my own production. After the new year, I will try to make new originals, and that's why I will put on hold so far about Big Bells and Big Bells Records. But yes, it's a plan, and it's gonna happen something.
Okay, and then to conclude our interview, then what can you tell us about the near future? What then it's going to be of your life and productions and in 2016?
I have a lot of plans for 2016. Maybe I will, I will go for sure to make my first LP, make more original songs, and we'll try to discover with a different kind of style. Maybe I have one track. It's techno. It's techno actually.
Okay.
It's almost finished, and that one I will put on my label from friend here in Bosnia. So I will a little bit try with changing my style, but still it will be melodic and very progressive bass lines, but I will try to explore. And I think as a producer should be a person who can make everything at any moment, and deep house and techno and progressive house and everything else. So I'm going to that way, try to become like that.
That's fantastic. We have listened here in our show, and then in my free time I have been listening then to your mixes and productions. They have this kind of combination of progressive sound and trance all together that we really like, and I think then if you decide then to go to, for example, deep house or techno, it will be then also fantastic and a well thought production. Okay, any final words for all of our audience?
My final words. Well, I would like to give a small advice to the upcoming producers, because I still see myself as on the first step and on the stairs, and maybe I'm not, but I always like to see myself as on low position, because that's why I know what I want to go and what I want to be. And don't be too hard on yourself, and everything you make, share with your friends, and listen. Try to make everything something new for every day. It's not necessary to be full track. It's good to be sample and everything. I know because only hard work brings big results. Talent is not that much important. It's maybe lift things faster, talent, but hard work is everything.
Okay, and those have been the words then with then Bosnia and Herzegovina's next national hero in music, then Adnan Jakubovic. Thank you then so much for your time and for this interview. We are really honored.
Thank you for inviting me. It was, as I said before, a very great pleasure, a great honor to be invited, especially because I'm still very young and very young producer, and I'm coming from a very small country of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Okay, now we have an excuse to visit your town and your country to listen to your music. People, you know where to find Adnan, so go there on your next vacations.
Yeah, welcome. From many parts of the world, people are welcome here, and they will feel like they are at their homes and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now for the peace, quiet and relaxation, if we don't want to just go out clubbing at night or today, we have some suggestions from video websites. So yes, this is what's on, but not on the telly. Be a happier man, be a happy woman, be a happy soul, not watching TV. Just stick to web video. So what do we have this week? Well, let's start with one of our favorites. Boiler Room has news from Dublin. There is a live set by New Jackson. I have listened to it. It's very good. He has all the machinery on the decks and also the people surrounding him and dancing like crazy. It's a very good one. So also from Dublin with the Generator series, we have Silas. This is a very good one as well. I really like it. Then also from Dresden, there is a live set by Cuthead. All of this coming, of course, from Boiler Room. And then also from Basel, we have a DJ set by D-Tron, which is a very good one. I have listened to it. And we could not miss, of course, Miss Sarah Farina at the Boiler Room London. That is also a very nice DJ set. Now, what's coming from another source, which is Dance Tripping TV. We have two videos this week that I really like. We had first Juan Atkins at the Love Fest Serbia. There is a very good DJ set that you cannot miss. And also Sonny James and Ryan Marciano present Sexy by Nature. This was a party at the Amsterdam Dance Event 2015 edition at the Escape Club, so don't miss it. So these two good videos are coming from dancetripping.tv. And last but not least, we have Mixmag, who brings us a very good things this week. We have a Christmas special at the Lab London with Apollonia, so don't miss that one. Also from the Lab London, we have Paco Ozuna, Unmissable. Then a double treat from Lithos. We have a DJ set in the Lab LA and also a DJ set live then at the Mixmag Lab in LA with house, deep house, tech jacking and G house. So don't miss it, it's really good. And this was then recorded just on the 19th. And last but not least, Resolute. This is a series of then Mixmag with Lauren Ritter and Horacio Rispo. They play dubby house and techno. So this is in the Lab, New York City. And those are our favorite videos so far. So what's on but not on the telly? So after the Christmas celebration is over at home, we have a very good Saturday ahead of us in London to go clubbing somewhere. So let's see, I have been then looking through a list of clubs and places to go. So the list is quite interesting. Let's start this week with the Ministry of Sound. So they have a Rinse FM Boxing Day party. In the room 1 we have KTB, a novelist, a Section Boys, DJ Sync, Double DE, plus Cirrus Pyro, Plastician and Jamins, DJ Spoony and Jasmine. All of that just in the room 1. In the room 2, or 103 as they call it, we have Fatima Al-Qadiri, Book, Mom Dance, Face Miyaki, Mr. Mitch, Youngstar, Marlo and MM. In the room 3, or the loft as they call it, we have JD Reed, Horsepower Productions, DJ Ron and Supplier. And in the room 4, also called the Baby Box, we have Norwood Soul Patrol. So this is all for just Ministry of Sound. Now if you want to go somewhere else, we have a very interesting treat at the Egg London that presents the Boxing Day special with some DJs that you will like, definitely. We have Leon, we have Paul C and Paolo Martini, Pele and Shusnesi, and more then to be announced. So this is a very good party then for the lovers of Italian producers like then Paul C and Paolo Martini. So don't miss this one. This is at the Egg London. Now if you want some drum and bass, we have a very good party that is a 2020 by Exit Records at Phonox. The lineup is Deep Bridge in back-to-back with a special guest. We don't know who that is. Unit in back-to-back to Kumath, I Believe, Deft in back-to-back Danny Skrilla, 30s back-to-back with Touchy Subject, Tim Parker and Havelock. So this is from Exit Records and it's a very good then drum and bass party. Now let's see Movimento with Copy Paste Soul at the Club Aquarium. This party promises then Copy Paste Soul, who is then currently releasing music on Suara and Exploited Records, and also he will be then followed by Francesco Poggi, D Afro, Hugo. We have met Hugo personally and he's a very good DJ. Also Urbano and a special guest to be announced. So this is more or less what we have, but hey, wait. We have La Divina After Hours, 12 hours of fiesta at the Boxing Day, and this is happening at the Union Club. The lineup promises then Thomas Wonderland, Jamie Darui, Enrico Ciucciello and Koseki. So this is La Divina, so you know what this means. Okay, and these are the suggestions I have for this Saturday in London. Go ahead, try some of them. And this, my dears, has been the show for this week. So wishing you a Merry Christmas if you celebrate. If you don't celebrate, okay, then be happy just for everyone else. Thank you so much for stopping by, for coming by to this little corner of the internet called Vitamina UK. See you next week.
Vitamina Electronic Webcast.